Hey, Rupali Monga here from rupalimonga.com, and today I wanted to do a tutorial on how to set up Aweber's autoresponder service. And so what you're looking at here on the screen is basically the home screen of Aweber's email software service. And what I'm going to do is really kind of walk you through how to, number one, set up your first list. And the reason why setting up a list is so important is because when you create a sales funnel through another service, let's say you're using ClickFunnels, Lead Pages, or whatever, you want to connect your autoresponder service with that sales funnel so that when people enter their email addresses, it's automatically being dropped into your autoresponder service. And in order for you to do that, you have to create a list. So here's what we're going to cover in today's tutorial. Number one, how to create a list. Okay, very important. I'm going to talk through that. Number two, we'll go through the messages tab right here. We'll review what exactly is legacy follow-up series. We'll go through the drafts section, broadcasts. We'll go into the subscribers section, like how to manage subscribers, how to add subscribers, how to look at your import history. We'll also look into sign-up forms. Now, sign-up forms are very important as well because whenever you create a new sales funnel, you need to, and a new list, essentially, you need to make sure you have a sign-up form associated with that list. Okay, so we're going to look into the sign-up forms. I'm going to cover reports at a very high level just because the purpose of this tutorial is how to use Aweber, not to really like go through all the reporting, although I will touch on that briefly just so you kind of know where it is. And then, once you start using Aweber, you can go into the report section and really start playing around with it yourself, and also go to their help section to get a better understanding of reports. And of course, like I said, we'll talk about the list. All right. So let's start off with creating a list. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you would do, the first step you would do, let's say you sign in, this is the screen that you're going to see. Now, obviously, when you're starting out, you're probably going to have 0 subscribers and stuff like that. But this is the screen that you're going to see, and then when you scroll down here, you'll kind of see the activity. I have a lot of different lists here because I made some changes and stuff. I mean, but the point is you kind of see the list stats down here, any broadcasts that you sent out. These are recent broadcasts, which is the reason why these stats are so low. I just sent it out about an hour ago. But anyway, you'll see recent broadcasts. So this is the kind of stuff you'll see on your home screen. But what's important to you is creating that first list, right? So let's go into manage lists. Okay. Then what you would do is you come here and hit on create a list. And then what you want to do is you put in your company name. Okay, so I have the Millionaire Spirit. You can put in your company website. If you don't want to, that's fine too. It's not required, but you put in your company website. Then you have to put an address. You can create one, a PO box or whatever it is. And of course, you want to put in the sender name and email address that would show up when you send people emails, right? So you want to put your sender name in here, and then of course the email address. Okay, go to next step. What would you like to name your list? Now, if you're creating a new list, let's just say, let me go ahead and create a new list. So we're doing this kind of live. Okay, so I had, the first page, if you just go back, all this stuff is already built in for me because I've been obviously using Aweber for a while. But you would put your contact information in, and then you put your list name. What do you want your list to be? Let's say it is, I'm just going to put demo list, right? Because it's a demo. Then you want to put in the list description. Now, you want to be careful with what you put here because when your subscribers decide to unsubscribe from your list, they're going to see this list description. So you want to put something that's like enticing, that's going to maybe change your mind to not unsubscribe from your list, but that's what this list description section is for. So for now, I'm just going to put in demo description because it's a demo, but again, you want to elaborate on this so that when if your customers are unsubscribing, it changes their mind to not unsubscribe. So all right, so you put in your you put in your list description, you hit next step. And then this is So this is where you can, whenever you send an email, like when someone signs up for your emails, you can either choose for that person to confirm to get emails from you, or you can remove that confirmation email. Personally, this is just something that I do, and a lot of email marketers do things differently, but I don't like people doing a opt-in, double opt-in, because most people don't even do it. And then, if they don't opt in, they're never going to get your emails. And then you kind of just lose on that opportunity of sending those people emails. So I don't do an double opt in here. But for now, the way this works is you kind of like, you can't remove the opt-in confirmation. So what I would do is I would just leave this as is. Don't make any changes. Just hit approve message and create list. Okay. And then what you would do is you would actually go into that list, right? It says demo list here. And then, hold on one second. And then what you're in the list, right? Demo list, then go into list options and then hit list. You just hit, list options, and then it's going to take you to the list that you just created, the basic information of it. You just review everything. Everything looks good. And then go to confirmed opt-in and then scroll down and then hit off. It's saying, are you sure you want to disable confirmed opt-in for web form submissions? Hit yes if you in fact do not want them to confirm their email address. Make sure both of these are off so that people are not having to confirm their email address. Okay, so that's how you remove that double opt-in right there. And then just hit save settings. Bam. That is it, guys. You've created your first list. It really is that simple. Now that you've created that list, the second step is creating a sign-up form, okay? So for this list, I have no sign-up form. It says right here, create your first sign-up form. For all my other lists, I have a sign-up form for each because, in order for you to properly connect this list with your sales funnel, you have to have a sign-up form. So let's go ahead and create your sign-up form. Hit that green button. And then what I would do, I leave this very generic. I just do it because Aweber requires it. But typically, if you're using like sales funnels, like ClickFunnels or Lead Pages, you don't really need a sign up form, because you have your own sign up form that you're creating in those funnel softwares. But Aweber requires it. So what I would say is just create a basic one. Just create it for the sake of creating it because you need to create it, right? So I honestly, I don't even do anything. I just come here, I just scroll down, I hit save your form, I go to step 2, and then, I just leave form name as is, and then I go to an under thank you page, I hit custom page, use your own URL. That's because I am using a URL with the funnel software service, such as I personally use ClickFunnels. I have my sales funnel with ClickFunnels, so I would just enter in the URL that I'm using to generate my leads. So let's say I put in themillspirit.com. Okay, just leave it as that. Leave this already subscribed page as is, and then go to step 3. Oh, you have to save it. Just save your form, and that's it. That is it. Over here it says who will publish this form to your site, and you don't have to click on any of these options because you already have a website builder that has its own sign up form. So down here, if you see, it says have an integration with the website builder like Weebly or WordPress, you're all set. Head back to that site to complete the configuration. And that's it. You're all set. You don't need to do anything else with your sign up form. It's that simple. Okay. So we covered how to create a list and how to create a sign up form, right? Now let's go into messages. Okay, so now that because this is a new list, it says I have no messages, right? Because I haven't created any messages. But it's really simple. So the way that you create a message is, you click over here, you just click on messages, and I'll bring you to the draft section, okay? And this is how you start creating your first message. You just hit create message. click on drag and drop email builder. Okay, and this is it. You enter the subject of that email. So I'm going to put like test, or let's say demo email message. Okay, and then you type in whatever you want your email to be, right? Thanks for being email loyal. I'm just going to leave it as is. Demo email service, you know, best Poly. I mean, I'm just doing this for demo purposes, right? So let's just say you drafted up your message, okay? Now, there's a couple of things I want you to know. Up here, you have your toolbar. You can change the font, the size, you can bold it, italicize it, you can change the colors of your text, you can include hyperlinks. So like, for example, let's say I want to, you know, make email a hyperlink. So I could do www. You know, themillspirit.com, enter my hyperlink, you know, so it's that simple. And you could bullet points, all these sorts of different things. Now, another thing that you can do is you can create sections, right? So up here, you see this? If you hit the plus, it's going to create a section right below, okay? It's going to create a column right below, I should say. You can also it created a row right below. You can also create columns. So you hit this, you see how it created a column? Okay, now if you want to go ahead and delete that column, just hit the X and just hit the X if you want to delete that row. It's that simple, okay? But let's, for the sake of this, let's create another row because I want to show you how you can add, once you create that row, you need to put elements in it, okay? So you can put a paragraph in it and you can start typing more, okay? Or you can put an image in that row. Okay, so let's put image here. Okay, so when you go there, now this is the way you would add an image. Let's say you want to upload, you can upload an image from your desktop, or you can use the image gallery, right? These are all my images that I've used in my emails. Or, you know, I mean, just for demo purposes, I'm just going to upload a stock image. There you go. It's that simple. Okay, now if you want to replace image, just go to replace image, and that's it. And then let's just say you want to remove images altogether, just hit delete. It's that simple. You can also add videos. You know, just put the video URL and it's going to pop up. Okay. My advice typically is I don't embed videos directly in the emails because it just autoresponders like Gmail and other email software services, for some reason, they don't like pictures and videos directly embedded in the emails. And there may be a chance that your email may go to scam. So I just literally put an hyperlink to the pictures or images typically. But that's just a quick tip right there. So anyway, so that's that. And there's so many other things, like you can add an article, you know, there's different social media buttons. So there's all sorts of different things you can use, but it's that simple, guys. Let's say once you're done drafting your image, your email message, just hit save. And then what you always want to do is always preview and test every email message, okay, to make sure it looks good before your list starts seeing your email. So then you would hit preview and test. Okay, this is what your email will look like, and then just put in an email address that you use for test purposes, and then send the test. And then you'll see what it looks like in actual form on your mobile device or on your desktop. It's that simple to create a message, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and save and exit. So you created your first message. So now we've created a list, we've created a sign-up form, and we've created our very first message. All right, now let's go to legacy follow-up series. So legacy follow-up series, let me just make sure you understand the value and purpose of follow-up series. So an autoresponder, right, is essentially when you have emails that are already loaded in your Aweber software service here that are automated, that are scheduled to be automatically sent out at specific periods of times and on specific days. That is what is called your legacy follow-up series, okay? And it's very important because, you know, when you get new leads, you want to typically make sure that you have a follow-up series set up, you know? Maybe it's 14 days, maybe it's 20 days, maybe it's a month, you know, maybe it's 7 days, whatever fits your business. But you want to have an automated email sequence set up so that you don't have to every day hustle to send email addresses to those new leads that are coming in. Okay, it's just always good to have a follow-up series pre-made and automatically sent to your leads, so you know that those leads are getting, the messages that you have set up for them. So that's where your legacy follow-up series comes in play. And this is where you would create it. So you went to messages, go down here. When you go down here, you come to this screen, and then that's it. You just, you create your message. You can create your message in here like we did, like I just showed you, and add that to your legacy follow-up series. And there's another way that you can do this too, which I'll show you in a second. Also, you can do campaign sharing. This is very, very useful, right? Because when you hit campaign sharing, you can actually take other people who have follow-up series already made, and if they're sharing it with you, you can literally load all of those emails into your follow-up series, and you would put their code here, right? So if you hit on use campaign sharing, it's going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. Now, one thing I want to show you really quickly is go back to your drafts. Okay, when you have this draft message that we created, right, there's a couple of different things you can do with it. You can send a test email like I had showed you before. You can schedule a broadcast. We haven't talked about that yet, so we'll get to that in a minute. Or you can add it to your follow-up series. So you create all your messages in your draft section here, and then you can add them to your follow-up series, right? So what I would do is I want to add this to my follow-up series. So just hit add to follow-up series, and it's going to ask you, follow-up number 1 is a welcome message your subscribers will immediately get after signing up. Track clicks, always hit yes, and then hit add to follow-up series. So it just set that to included that in your follow-up series. Now, if you had multiple drafts, you just hit add to follow-up series, and then it's going to say message number 2, message number 3, message number 4, and so forth. All right. So now you can see this is your first email in your legacy follow-up series. So it's that simple, and you kind of just follow the same process if you want to continue extending this for 10, 15, 20, however many messages you want. Okay. Now I'm going to copy this back to drafts because I want to show you what exactly are broadcasts and how to create broadcasts. So let's go back to drafts. And just to recap, right, because I know there's a lot of information that you're getting here. So far we covered how to create a list, number 1. Number 2, how to create sign-up forms. Okay. Number 3, how to create a message, right, by going into drafts. Okay. Number 4, how to create your legacy follow-up series. And now number 5, how to create broadcast email messages. So if you hit on broadcast right now, you have no broadcast, right, because you have not sent any. So what you would want to do is go back to your drafts. In drafts, like I said, your message that you created here, you have a couple options, right? You can add it to your follow-up series, which I just showed you. You could send a test email. We talked about that. Or you can schedule a broadcast. Now let me explain why you would use a broadcast. I know this was very confusing for me at first. So, I think it's just easier to understand it up front, okay? So I talked about why a legacy follow-up series is important and when you would use it, right? Now, a broadcast is when you send emails that are not pre-automated, okay? So you're literally, broadcasts are emails that you're creating on a daily basis, and you're using them to maybe send out time-sensitive information or time-sensitive, deals or coupons or whatever it is. It's more like time-sensitive. That's one of the reasons why you would send broadcasts. And a second reason is, let's say that your list has completed its follow-up series, right? They're done with their follow-up series. You want to continue emailing them. And ideally, I like to email people every single day, especially my most engaged users or readers, I should say. So after the follow-up series is complete, I then send daily broadcasts, okay? And my broadcasts daily are they change. It's based on what my mood is for that day, what I've learned, what's the latest thing that I want to share with them, and it all varies, right? So what I would do is I would craft that message and then go to schedule a broadcast. And then up here, you don't really want to touch anything. This first thing, do you want to share this message? Just leave it as is. Then who should receive this message? Now, this is important because the reason why this is important is because, there's something called segmenting um, with your list. Segmenting is so important because you want to make sure that you can't treat everyone on your list the same, okay? Because they're all at different parts in their journey on your email list. So you want to create segments, right? And I'll try to show you if we can do segments. I don't have anybody on this list, but I'll show you from one of my prior lists on how to actually create a segment because that's very, very important. So what you do is come here and it says send to subscribers in this segment. Then you would click the segment that you've created and send to them if you choose to send to a specific segment, or you can send to all active subscribers, okay? So you click on that and then you hit apply, and then it says when should this message be sent. Then you can select the date and time that you want to send it, and then hit apply, and then hit send message now. All right, that's how you send a broadcast. It's that simple. Okay, so that was number 5, right? Now number 6, I do want to really quickly show you how to create a segment. Because this list has no subscribers, I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm going to go into this old list here. Normally, let's see, manage subscribers. Okay, so then what you can do is you would come here, you have all of your subscribers, go to subscribers, manage subscribers. It's going to show you all the subscribers in that list. And then what you can do is you can create segments based on the fields that are in here. You can create a segment based on date added, right? So date added is on or before, let's say today. Let's say I want to create a segment based on that, right? I would do that, hit search. It's going to show me all the emails that are on before. Save segment. I'm going to hit demo. Save. Oh, it has to be 5 or demo 1, 2, 3. 5 or more characters. Hit save. And then your segment pops up here. Okay? And there's your segment. And then what you do is you go to messages. You go to drafts. Let's say, I want to send this particular message that I have here as a broadcast. I go back here. Then who should receive this message? I go to edit, and you'll see demo 1, 2, 3 is there, and I only want to send to that segment. Okay, so that's pretty much how you create a segment and send broadcasts to segments only. Okay, that's very important. So that was number 6. Now, let's see. Let's go to manage subscribers. I think I already showed this to you, but in the manage subscribers, let's go back to demo list. In manage subscribers is where you would see all of your subscribers. Obviously, in this particular list, we have no subscribers, but you just saw an example of what the subscriber screen will look like. And you can add subscribers to it. Now, typically when you have a list set up, your subscribers are automatically being added through your sales funnel. So you don't need to literally go in and add subscribers. But let's just say you did, right? Let's say you manually had to go in and add subscribers. What I would do is just hit the add subscriber button and never, ever, ever manually, I mean, like literally writing out the email addresses, add in subscribers. You always want to import. So you would, let's say you have a list of emails that you want to add to your list. You put them in an Excel spreadsheet, and then you import that Excel spreadsheet into your list, right? You hit that import button, click to browse, get the file, and then um, import that listed. Don't ever manually type in the email addresses, because if you get an email address wrong, or you hit something wrong, that email is gone. Okay, so always import subscribers into a list if you need to. All right, I think that was number 7, right? So that's basically it. And let's just go into reports, because I did want to show you this really quickly. Oh, see, this is a new list, so it's not going to show you anything. All right, let's go to one of my old lists. All right, so yeah, you see here, right? This is my reports for an old list that I have, and it's just showing me, the follow-ups that I sent, the dates I sent them on, the broadcast, uniques, like how many people, unique people it was sent to, and then there's so much information under list reports, which is the reason why I don't want to get into this too much detail, because we'll be here for hours, but you can really get statistical information on so many different things. Opens, how many people opened your emails, clicks, new subscribers, all of that. Okay, so that's that. And then one thing I do want to also show you, so I think that was number 8. Number 9, because I'm keeping track of everything, I want to show you one thing which is pretty important is when you have a follow-up series set up or even broadcast, you always want to check your open rates because this is so important. Like if your open rates are very low, then there's a problem, right? Either your email is getting sent to spam, people just maybe the people on your list are not real people and they're bots. I mean, trust me, if you're working with vendors, like solo ad vendors, many times they'll send fake people to you. So you want to be careful of that. And obviously, if it's not real people, they're not going to be opening your email addresses. You want to test these things, right? But you would essentially go into your follow-up series or even your broadcast and see what the open rates are. So like, for example, and the average open rate is around 12%. This probably does vary by industry, but in my industry, I'm in the business opportunity industry. Average open rates are around 12%. So you can see my average open rates are pretty good, right? So I can see that here. And now, if I have open rates that are like 3%, 5%, either I will get rid of that email message because no one really cares about it. Two, I'll look to see if that email message is being sent to spam. So I'll play around with it to make sure that I can optimize that email message. So that's how you check email open rates. I think that was number 10. And then number 11, what I wanted to show you is list automation. So this is important because when you move your leads from one list to the next, you want to make sure that it's automatically unsubscribing them from the old list, and you can set up automation rules to do that, right? So for example, DA trials is when, one of my leads turns into a buyer. So I want to move that lead from my prospect list into my buyer list because they're going to get different messages. So I have a rule set up here. Unsubscribe from list DA trials when subscriber subscribes to Rise Plus members. So this is like if people upgrade, my buyers. Let me show you another one. Okay, this is taking a little bit. Okay, so this was an old prospect email. So it says unsubscribe from this list when subscriber subscribes to DA trial. So basically I'm saying when I subscribe someone to my buyer list, unsubscribe them from my prospect list. And this automatically happens. So you want to set up these rules, very important. And then last but not least, I want to quickly show you the help section. Well, I mean, really what I want to show you is the help section is amazing. Like Aweber's help section is really, really great. And then they also have chat and live customer support, which is amazing. So you can chat with them, you can do live customer support, and get help whenever you need. So that's it, guys. I mean, Aweber is a very, very simple autoresponder to use. I highly recommend it. It's very simple as I just showed you. I mean, I went through this stuff in 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Showed you pretty much the entire interface of Aweber. So it's a very simple tool to use. If you are interested in signing up for Aweber, click on the link right below. This is my affiliate link. So if you do sign up for Aweber through this link, I do get credit for it, but hey, you don't have to. I am always very transparent with everyone, so I like to let you know that that's what would happen. You can also sign up through Aweber by just going to Google, right? But if it's easier for you, just click on the link below and you can sign up for Aweber. And if you found this video valuable, go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what you got out of it. If you have any questions, I always respond to my comments. So I would love to hear from you, and like and share this video, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I provide tons of internet marketing tips, tools, tricks, resources, business, how to build a business, tricks and strategies, and then also personal development hacks and training. So go ahead and click on the link below and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.